Hey, how's it going, guys? Ancient Rune here, back with another Borderlands 3 build video, and today I'll be going over my Dark Army Amara build called Dark ARMada. This build focuses on maximizing the damage of the Dark Army, which is one of the strongest SMGs in the game. The drones benefit from your gun damage and fire rate you have when they are spawned, and then they keep that damage. We abuse this with Amara's driver class mod to get a bunch of gun damage, as well as getting stuff that increases our fire rate. Then we use the rest of the damage formula to boost the Dark Armor even more. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. A save will be found in my Discord, which is linked down below, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, first thing I'm going to show off is how to set up the Dark Army. I'll go over everything later in more depth. So you're going to want to make sure you have your driver on, Revolter, Snowdrift, Vic Rush with the double move speed, and then your Dark Army. We're going to hold an EMP5. First, you're going to want to break your Revolter. You can fake grasp if you would like to. Break that, slide, and swap to your Dark Army. But we still don't have the terror damage and fire rate up, nor Victory Rush bonus up for the movement speed for more damage. Don't do that, just to help get all this up. And then I'll go and slide and bring out this, and now we should have all the fire rate we need. Revolter should have been active during that too, and so we have everything good to go. All right, and now for the gear, of course, we have the Dark Army. We're going to use Terror Cryo here since we are using Terror. You just want to go for the best damage possible here. The Dark Army plus kind of helps a bit more, but names aren't really everything. And then we have a EMP5. You can also use a Vanquisher. This is just to help gain movement speed with driver when setting up, because once you go to your Dark Army, you really don't want to swap unless your Dark Armies are like far away from teleporting or moving far, which is mainly in Guardian Takedown. And then we have a Revolter. Low level one helps, but it does not need to be low level. Just means it's faster to break. Ideally, you'll want fleet parts, but they are not needed. Fleet just to help gain more gun damage from driver. You're going to want action skill and apply terror to yourself, so we get terror for Terror Cryo, and then also terror on our grenade. I use an It's Piss. You could also use like a Mesmer. Just low level helps, but again, not needed. But you're gonna want terror damage and fire rate. This is to get more fire rate for our guns with Dark Army, and then we also get V1 damage, which will be really good just in general. We do get some from Cook Combo since we are getting a bunch of fire rate, but the more the merrier. Alright, and then we have the driver class mod. So ideally when setting up the Dark Army, you want to get like gun damage and fire rate on a driver just by itself, but this does enough damage where you don't need to really worry about that. It's just kind of extra and nice, especially since we don't really swap away. So for the driver, for main stuff, or at least for setting up, you're gonna want 3 in mindfulness, and then like maybe gun damage, teeter, fire rate, and fire rate. Getting gun damage won't matter when you have so much, so we got that going on there. And then for your main damage driver, you're going to want 3 in mindfulness, and then you're going to want SMG damage. That'll be the main thing you'll want. And then I have splash radius here for hollow points. The Dark Army does not ever deal splash except for the reloads, which are not doing damage here. So that's just for hollow points to make that bigger. And if I were to use radiation, it would be bigger rad explosions. But I don't go rad explosions with like ASE rad because I am using the terror stuff, but that's fine. And then action skill cooldown rate's just nice, but definitely not needed. Fire rate could possibly be better here just for emptying the mag. You could also get some reload speed more if you want, but mainly just the SMG damage and the 3 in speed mindfulness, which is an easier farm. And then for the setup, you're going to want to use a Snowdrift Victory Rush. Snowdrift to slide to gain a bunch of movement speed. And then Victory Rush is really only needed if you set it up in combat. When killing a badass, you gain the movement speed. And then you're going to want movement speed on the Snowdrift. Area effect damage doesn't matter here. You just need the movement speed and Snowdrift part, and then maybe Victory Rush if you are setting it up in combat for the maximum damage. The movement speed only matters in the setup part because of the driver stuff. That V1 damage is not transferring to your Dark Army once we swap away from it. So yeah, Snowdrift, double movement speed, all you need. And then for the actual damage part, you are going to want an elemental projector with ideally Victory Rush. And with this, you just need SMG damage. Getting area of effect damage is nice for the hidden splash radius in the second or third passive, again for Hollow Point. And then elemental damage is nice. You do not want any mag size boost, as that will take longer to empty your Dark Army, which is how we get that full damage boost, is from the empty mag. You gain the damage bonus with the drone shooting elemental. You cannot do it with like a partial mag, like doing like this and reloading. You have to do the actual full reload here like this, and then it'll start shooting out the bullets. So it's just kind of some min-maxing stuff that doesn't matter as much. All right, and for the skill tree, we'll start off here. We have 5 in Ana. This is to keep our stats effect going longer. We are using ties that bind, so our action skill can be spammed pretty well to where we don't have to worry too much. It's nice to use corrosive here because it has the longest dot, so just means more driver time going on, and we just use corrosive anyways. Then we have infusion. This is just to help if we do use a different element, then we'll be dealing damage there. I don't know if it applies to Dark Army. I hope so, but I honestly don't know. Steady hands for weapon handling and accuracy. We only go 4 in Tempest only because I'm using an elemental projector that I have over 100% elemental damage, that I'd rather focus all these other skills over 1 more point in Tempest. We do not go Dread like normal builds do because we don't want to get that reload when killing a grasped enemy. And then Deep Well gains mag size. We do not want that because we want to empty the mag as fast as possible. Then we have Indiscriminate. This is for better mobbing. It just goes off to different enemies, so it's just really good and really powerful. And then we only need 1 point in sustainment for lifesteal to stay alive. And then Green Tree, we go the normal like driver stuff, going to mindfulness. We have the 3 in personal space, and I just go 5 in clarity just because I have the points. None of these points here actually matter. Arm shield doesn't matter. Helping hands doesn't do anything. I just maxed out clarity. You could put some points in Root to Rise if you want, and then put the rest 3 points into mindfulness for the increased movement speed. And then here we are just going down to get expedite, but we also get heavy rain for projectile speed and trusting yourself for reload speed, which is really nice. And then for the blue tree, we're going down to capstone. We get do harm for increasing the ties that buys damage, and then fast hands for the reload speed, violent tapestry just to help get more rush stacks. We go max alacrity for more reload speed as we are reloading a lot. Transcend for the crit damage mainly. Ascended to get more expedite cooldown. We go laid bare. It does not apply to ties that bind enemies, but if you do grasp an ungraspable enemy, it'll apply damage, which will apply laid bare. So it's mainly for bossing like that. You could swap to like phase cast or something in bossing if you like, but it's definitely not needed. We go from rest to get fire rate here. The charge time does nothing on this build. We do not go wraith as we're already getting hundreds of gun damage. Getting this little amount does not help us much, so I'd much rather get something like maxing out alacrity. And then we go 1 point in remnant. That's all you ever need. It's used for the overkill damage, and it just kills everything. You could take some of the extra points into awakening, but I don't really care to. And then we got avatar, so we can activate our action skill twice before it has to go on full cooldown. The main thing we go is ties that bind. Just the main thing you go for guns really is this. It just links up enemies, and then any thing you deal to a linked target is shared to the other linked target. So it's just really good. You really just want to element match with your imbued element to whatever the boss is. You don't want to take cold-hearted because one, that'll cryo you and you'll go slower, but it'll also turn off anima and you won't get that going. And then you just want expedite for the cooldown rate, which is really important. And then even though we're keeping our shield low, we still want to make sure we keep shield reboot and emergency response on, as that will help get our shield to recharge but then instantly break again with our dot applying, so we can keep cycling that revolter, because if we keep that off, then our shield will stay at 0 and never start to recharge at all, so we'll never have revolter going. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This build is insanely strong. The Dark Army just worked so good on Amara, and because of her indiscriminate and ties that bind, you can just mob so well. Because of how the damage transferring works, you could swap away from the driver after spawning the drones and use a Phaserker and Company Man artifact, but I much more enjoy still using driver for elemental projector and breaking my revolter shield to open up anointments. Again, you can find the save file in my Discord, which is linked down below, as well as my other socials. If you haven't, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.